On October 6th, 2012, it was a beautiful sunny day for a bicyclist going about her day riding. And then, BAM! She got hit by a white van! And then you know what the driver of the white van did? Well, he did something very logical. He fled the scene. Officers got a 911 call by somebody reporting the incident. Officers responded to the scene and spotted a similar van with a closely matching license plate in a parking lot less than a mile away from the scene of the collision. The officers pull into the driveway. As soon as they do that, the officers saw Leo Etherly, who was walking away from the van. Officers stopped him, believing him to be the suspect. One of the officers grabs Etherly's hand, and Etherly physically resists. Sergeant Sean Whitcomb made a report of this next part as, quote, "Officers strongly believed that they had the right individual and attempted to place him under arrest," end quote. But in reality, Officer Eric Faust walks over aggressively and escalates the whole situation.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do then? Knock me out? Shoot me? What's your name? What's your name? Don't worry about my name. What's her name? Okay. Turn around, put your hand behind your back. Man, don't touch me. I ain't got to put my... Enough. Enough. I'm not choking you. I'm getting your head away from me. Oh, here.
Etherly spits on Officer Faust in the face. Sergeant Sean Whitcomb reports it as, quote, "Officers began to forcefully place the man into the handcuffs, but before they could do so, he spit a glob of saliva into the face of one officer, exposing him to potentially infectious material. The three officers put Etherly on the ground and placed him in handcuffs. Finally, Officer Eric Faust's chain of command, like his sergeant, lieutenant, and captain, all found that his conduct fell within department policy.
Hell nah, what the fuck am I listening to?
The case was sent to the Office of Professional Accountability, or OPA, for review. Officer Faust said he had gone to inspect the van, and when he returned, he heard Etherly raising his voice but no longer acting aggressively. OPA concluded that Faust interjected himself in an aggressive manner in an unsuccessful effort to gain control of the subject. After Etherly refused to give his name, Faust decided to handcuff him to protect everyone's safety. But other than shouting and expressing hostility, Etherly had done nothing physically aggressive or combative. Etherly appeared to turn his head and spit at Officer Faust. It was at this point the officer used his forearm to strike Etherly in the head. As the officer took Etherly to the ground, mostly out of the camera's view, Officer Faust appeared to deliver a second punch to Etherly's head. The two blows to stop spitting or aggression were not reasonable under the circumstances, OPA found. Interim Seattle Police Chief suspended Officer Faust for 8 days, finding the officer used excessive force and unnecessarily escalated the confrontation. Officer Faust appealed the decision with the support of the police union. An arbitration panel has overturned the 8-day suspension. The three panel, which included 2 police officers, unanimously found that Officer Eric Faust acted properly when he struck Etherly. The board determined that Officer Faust loudly telling Etherly to shut up and sit there was a command voice technique. Do they think we're fucking stupid or something? And a recognized police tactic that was not unreasonable. Officer Faust's initial blow to Etherly was also justified to prevent Etherly from further spitting and exposing the officers to biohazards. The board also found the second blow to be reasonable because Officer Faust was entitled to employ self-defense tactics until the fight was over. Do you think police unions should be banned nationwide? Comment down below.